into it. All right. Surrender to the magic of who you are. You chose card 1. We all have magic in us. Even in the mundane aspects of life, remember that you are a magical being with uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. So you could be like lost in this. You could be a little like lost in this energy where you feel like, you might not really have a sense of who you are anymore because of so much pain you felt over the lack of communication or the uneven balance between you and your twin flame. What this sort of says to me is that you might be wallowing a bit and forgetting who you are and what you're after and what you want. It could be that you're neglecting the path in front of you, in sort of a little bit of a stagnant energy. Without believing in yourself, it's very hard to continue on. So there's something with that. Let's sort of see where this stems from, okay? Because with that, we're going to use my mirror of shadows. And this is sort of like the harder things that we have to admit to ourselves, the harder things that, take a deeper look, something that, is like maybe a core wound that has now been opened because we're in separation. Let's see one for you, and then we'll do one for your twin. So I don't do well when I feel pressured. Fear of pressure. So it could be that you like to take your time to do things. You like to come to your own realizations about things. You really don't like being told. You don't want to be told. It's uncomfortable for you to feel vulnerable. It's also uncomfortable for you because you might fear failure. So it could be that you're fearful to start this journey or continue in this journey in the current energy. So there could be some letting go that needs to be had here. Like, you might need to let go of outcomes. You might need to release some of the pressure that you're putting on yourself as well, is what I'm getting from Spirit. So let's see something that your twin is struggling with. Oh, we got stubbornness. I only hear what I want to. So it could be that you were trying to get through to them in a way that they just couldn't understand. They couldn't comprehend. Maybe they had no idea about this whole twin flame union or this soul connection. They might have had to go off on their own and experience life and hardships without your help, without your intervening in any way. It seems like they need sort of like a reality check is what I'm getting. So it could be that, they're often struggling and it's really bothering you, and you might know about it. You might have heard from somebody like they're having a hard time, or you might know still some things about them on social media, or even if you're not directly connected, you're feeling it. You're feeling that they're having a hard time because of their stubbornness. So sort of a cycle going around this. We've got transformation. So in this energy, even though it feels heavy and sort of like almost a little bit stagnant, they are undergoing a transformation, as are you, because a cycle has now ended. So something that was rather conflicting in your lives. You may have had equally conflicting things going on side by side and not even know about it. A lot of that happens to twin flames. Or it could be that, they have now completed a cycle and their transformation is on its way, like under more of a transformative energy. So they feel like they're not their old self anymore. Okay. And it could be that you're sort of feeling this too, because you're sharing this energy. It's sort of like pushing you along. Let's see, anything else do we need to know about them in their current state, or what's going on with them? How are they feeling? What do they want? What are they doing? Anything. Yeah, I mean, they still feel really kind of brokenhearted. They feel broken up. I feel like they feel betrayed in some way, or they were very fearful of betrayal. Okay, so this is something that they're working on. They're working on healing past wounds. They're working on their loyalty. They're working on regrets that they may have had. So I don't know if there was third-party situation. And it doesn't have to be cheating. It could be some other thing interfered here with the two of you. And they may have had a different idea about commitment than you did, or you might have had a different idea about commitment than they did. But something with broken commitment, something with broken trust, definitely something with some type of betrayal. And they are feeling it, and so are you. Yeah, I feel like this is something that they may have had to experience. And not in a pleasant way. I mean, it might have been that they needed to be hurt. And in the hurt, they have to do the healing now. And they're definitely in a mindset of like getting to the bottom of their issues and problems. Okay. So you might be feeling this energy too. Like you might be now wanting to get down to, the nitty gritty of what's going on with you and your problems and your issues, because they all come out in this separation time. It's a time for healing. It's a time for bringing yourself inner peace and shedding light on things within yourself. So I feel like this is like a time to be alone, a time to be single, just for them as well. I feel like they are not seeing anybody. I feel like you are not. This is like a time to be alone is what I'm getting. So let's see some angel messages. So we've got like attracts like. So think only positive thoughts. So you might be having a hard time staying positive, okay? So that's definitely something to keep in mind, that sometimes when we start to think negative and we get into those negative mindsets, we can stay in those negative mindsets. So it's okay if you've been feeling that way, but Spirit's trying to pull you out of that and make you understand that thinking positive towards your twin flame is going to project some good positive energy their way, still loving them, caring for them, all of those things. They're going to send that back to you if they feel it coming from you. And then we've also got be open to receiving. You do deserve to receive. So you might not think you deserve good or happy, but you definitely do. And Spirit is working with you on this and trying to get you to find your happiness outside of this connection or outside of any connection. I feel like you are definitely supposed to be alone right now in this energy, so you can figure out what really does make you happy, what really does make you feel deserving, and what you really want out of life. You do deserve it, and you are going to get it as long as you're open to receiving it. So this is a good time to work on you and work on your inner wounds and your desires and set the tone for the future. I hope that this was helpful. Okay, so if you chose card 2, something to surrender is, surrender to frustration. So yeah, frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Yeah, it's really hard to not be frustrated though when you're in separation and you're not getting any answers and you feel like there's no progress. But sometimes we have to look at the steps that we're taking. Are we taking steps too big or steps too small? And sometimes we have to reevaluate the whole situation so we don't continue to stay in our frustrated energy. Yes, it is frustrating if you so happen to see their social media and they look like they're happy or they're moving on or something like that. Or if you heard it through the grapevine. Sometimes it's best to disconnect from things. Sometimes it's best to not talk about this all the time, like to lead it on in that frustration energy. Sometimes we have to just sit and meditate on things and sort of figure out where we really want to go and where we really want to be. What doors do we really want to open? So sometimes too, when we go into separation, it's because a door was opened too quickly. And that our twin had to face the mirror, which is mirroring all the sort of core wounds that we have come out in the open, and sometimes that's too painful. So let's see, speaking of which, possibly what core wounds we're being forced to look at here on your end. Let's see on your end, and then we'll check their end. So we've got uncertainty. I don't know what I want out of life yet. Yeah, so it could be that you may have put them in your picture of what was going to be and it didn't work out that way. It could also be you just don't know what direction you want to take. You might be multi-talented, or you might not know what's the best way for you with the best path, with the best money or the best career or the best education or the best people. So it's really, I feel like, a good time for you to reevaluate, to really look at every facet in your life. And, I think see who it matters to you, who doesn't. See who is helpful to you and who's not. And I know that sounds kind of strange dealing with twin flame, but it really does have to do with all of our lives and sort of like uprooting things that need to go and figuring out what we really want to do without judgments, without worrying about what others are going to think of us. I feel like that's a big block that you need to take care of. That may be something that your twin mirrored to you. It could be a wound that you don't want to deal with yet, or you're fearful to deal with it. It could be why you're so frustrated. What's a wound that they're dealing with? They've got jealousy issues. Now, please keep in mind these could resonate both ways. Both of these could resonate, or they could just be for your twin. So don't worry if it doesn't all the way resonate. I don't want to compete with anyone. I've got jealousy wounds. So they may just have some insecurities that they have a difficult time dealing with. And when they came together with you, because the union felt so passionate and like nothing they'd ever felt before, it opened up jealousy wounds to them. So they felt very fearful they were going to lose you, or they weren't going to be good enough, or that, maybe they were cheated on in the past, and that opened that up, that they hadn't healed it yet, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see sort of an event, a cycle, an energy, something major sort of going around this. And we've got stuck energy, so this could be them or you. I feel like sometimes when it comes out in a reading like this, it's more for you, the viewer. So you may feel very stuck over the past events between you and your twin, like you just want to sit and wait, or you just think that something is going to suddenly, get you up and out of this. But really, in reality, you have to get yourself up and out of it somehow, some way, and start to move into a more positive way of thinking. Because if you look behind you, there's a beautiful rainbow. So sometimes we're missing out on other things in life and other experiences and other things that we need to have as part of our soul's journey and our soul's purpose and our soul's learning, because we just stay stuck and seated and not realize that look behind us, look to the side, look. It's sort of like this just stagnation, okay? So it could be that's one of the reasons why you went into separation. So let's see if there's anything else we need to know about their feelings, about what's going on with them, their energy, anything at all. So I feel like they still feel very passionate, very sexual, very charged sexual energy towards you. They just don't know how to approach you. I feel like they do kind of want a new beginning with you, but they're sort of working on, what they have to offer. I feel like, if that makes any sense. But, there is some issues with trust. Okay, so I feel like there might be issues with trust. You might have an opportunity to discuss it, talk about it, and like get it all out in the open where you didn't have a chance to do that in the past. It could be that you just are fearful of cheating. That could be something that's on your mind that might have happened to you before. It could be them that's fearful of that. There is some fear of that. Like, I don't want to be cheated on. I'm suspicious. I don't believe you. I have these issues. So that's coming up here. It's also about getting into reality about things and not being delusional about anything, seeing things the way you sort of really need to see them, and also not making any decisions at this time. It is a time to sort of go within for the answers, not outward. Like, look within yourself. What is your higher self telling you is what I'm getting, guys. So let's get some angel messages. Let's get some angel whisper messages here. You are a being of the universe. Feel the connection. You are never alone. All right, so you could be struggling with some feelings of loneliness and all of that. You could feel really disconnected from the universe. You could feel disconnected from your higher self, from meditation, like all those things. What I'm getting is you need to reconnect to the universe and tap into the energy of the law of attraction and what you want. You have to wake up every day and sort of say, I want this type of job. I want this type of money. I want this type of relationship. Please give it to me. Please guide me to the answers that I need to get these things. Please guide me to the direction that I need to take in order to realign myself with my twin flame. That's what I'm getting. You have to be more assertive in it, because I feel like you also are opening up spiritual gifts and you feel alone, not understanding them, not understanding what's going on. There's lots of social media groups. I will leave a link in the description box for my group. It's a twin flame mentoring group if you're interested. And then the last message is, look at both sides of a situation. You do not have to agree, but at least be understanding.